What's up, Ninja Online guys? Welcome back to Diablo 3. This is chapter 17? Yeah, chapter 17. When we last left off, we had just came back to the hidden camp after defeating, what's her name? Starts with an M. If you think I could remember it now. Magda. There we go. After defeating Magda, we offloaded our inventory and, yeah.
I have thought of a way to retrieve my lost memories, but it is dangerous. I must ask you to promise me something. Should I lapse into my old sins, whatever they may be, you must kill me, as I killed John Dar.
If you insist.
I found a journal on John Dar's corpse, written in an ancient Templar cipher. I can translate it, but it will take some time. Perhaps studying his treachery will give me a clue into my past.
It's a reasonable plan, but you are still worried.
John Dar was once a man of faith, devoted to the Templar Order. What if he discovered something that made him betray himself? That matters not, for I must do this anyway.
Did the Prophet foresee everything?
Well, I did not expect you to keep company with a seraph.
Tyrael.
I knew what he was the instant I beheld him, but being in his presence makes me quite nervous.
He is our ally.
We do not deserve it. Tyrael sacrificed all he knew to aid us. I hope it is worthwhile.
You and your brother chose different paths.
We're not much alike, really. He was always dependable and practical. A complete bore, I'd say.
And you committed yourself to a life of crime.
Hardly. I was just amusing myself with the Thieves' Guild. It was nothing serious.
Your brother had no objections.
That may have been serious.
Alright, I think that was all the extra peoples I can... Oh, no.
How did you meet your wife?
It's actually quite a tale. We met in a town not far from here on the outskirts of Curast. She was... well, you're not going to believe it. She was locked in a cage.
Your wife was a criminal?
No. They were going to burn her as a witch.
That is a crime here, isn't it?
Let's talk about this another time.
Alright, I think that was everyone.
Hey,
Yeah.
you, come here.
No, I'm not looking. I have no care for his stuff. Let's talk to Tyrael.
I killed Magda. Before she passed, she claimed that Belial used the Imperial Guard to capture Leah.
Then they must be holding the Emperor against his will. I tremble to think what Belial might do with Leah and her growing power. The only chance we have to rescue Leah is to wrest the Emperor from the grasp of the Imperial Guard.
We need to get into the city. Ashira might be able to help. Do you remember your time as an angel?
Not just any angel. I was the Archangel of Justice. My fall awoke the vengeful dead who were slain unjustly during Diablo's reign of terror. There was nothing I could do. As my power left my body, I had absolutely no control over it. Caldeum is the greatest city in the world, the seat of the Empire of Kyrgyzstan.
So they say.
Its libraries overflow with undeciphered tomes of arcane knowledge. Its streets cover labyrinthine tunnels. It is a city of wonder and mystery. I do not know how these refugees persevere. Their situation is dire, and it seems there is little hope for them. Where do they find the strength to carry on?
Their hearts possess the will to survive.
The human spirit never ceases to amaze me. I feel Belial in the very air. I see his shadow behind haunted eyes. Hear his voice whispering lies on the wind. He need not bring an army to this city. It is his already.
Alright, let's move on. And I was saying though too, right? It's hard to fight an enemy that you don't know. You know, especially in this particular occasion where the enemy corrupts everyone. How do we know who's our enemy and who isn't, sort of thing, right? Jumps into that whole conundrum.
Captain Ravan, the conditions out here are deplorable. Something must be done to aid these people.
You can't treat me like this. Like some commoner.
Ashira, the Emperor is in danger. I need to speak with him.
I heard what you did at Qasim Outpost in Alcanis. You have my thanks, and you shall have my help. Captain Ravan, this man has vital information regarding the massacre in the Borderlands. We must see the Emperor at once.
Very well, but I don't think you'll find him receptive. Let them pass!
Perhaps a bit of coin would change your mind?
Let's go. I'll lead you to the palace.
After you, then. It's a whole different area. What the hell?
To have sought this audience with me. My guards tell me you were responsible for the massacre of innocent villagers in Alcanis.
Your guards lied.
If you are innocent, then why do you have spies skulking through my sewers? Bring her in!
Let me go!
I detest violence. Gods, I leave this matter in your hands.
Didn't know it was some child.
No!
Easy.
I knew you'd come for me.
Still easy. I guess there's nothing else here. Alright, time to go.
Get out of here. I will cover your escape.
Thank you. Now we need to get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get there.
It's probably underneath the town. Or the city, I guess. This isn't really a town. Kind of changed up my pace too with my playstyle, because I don't really need to reanimate anything at this point yet, so it's kind of only if I see the situation needed.
That was all of them.
There has to be a way into the sewers from here. This leads to the sewers.
Where does this lead to? Oh, okay. They're just not going to let me go down there. Leads nowhere.
I found my mother, Adria. She's alive. But the Imperial Guard is holding her somewhere down here.
We must reach her.
That's all of them.
This looks like necromancer stuff if I've ever seen.
So Magda was telling the truth. Somehow I knew my mother was alive. I always knew it.
But there is still a reason she never reunited with you.
The electric eels are insidious pests that have taken root in the oases surrounding Caldeum. Known for their stinging strikes, these creatures are particularly dangerous when they attack in large numbers. It is said that raw eel has become a delicacy among Caldeum's elite, but I assure you these rumors are baseless.
The Accursed were created when a necrotic plague spread through Kyrgyzstan centuries ago. The infected watched in terror as their flesh blackened and died. The strongest medicines could not stop the decay. Eventually, they fell into a dormant state, and their bodies were piled up in dark and forgotten places where they could rest undisturbed.
Just fighting a little bit of everything right now.
And now we see the truth of this city. Shining citadels built on rot and evil.
Not everyone loathes sewers, you know.
I'll be telling stories about that for a while.
My exemplary servants. Keep the witch alive until she talks. Pain will loose her tongue, but only to a point. Remember what happened with the vizier's assistant? It was a pleasurable time, I admit. But the man had only incoherent babble and bloody strands of pus spilling from his lips by the end.
Adria should be up here.
That's the way out. Let's go hit the other spot first. There's a little bit more this way. Looking for the wretched pit. Okay. That was it for the sewers. Yes, it was. These pants are better than my pants that have 2 intelligence enchantments. Bro, this shield is just fucking, like, it's good.
Tell us about the Black Soul Stone. We know of the 3 that the Horadrim used to trap the primeval. What is the purpose of this one?
Your master Belial has good reason to fear it.
Leave her alone!
Seize them!
Bro, I didn't even get to pop all my enchantments before he died.
Leah, my daughter.
You know who I am?
My darling, I've watched over you all your life, but I never dared get close because of the danger that always shadows me.
Speaking of which, let's get moving.
Talk to Adria in the hidden camp.
today? Please look. You won't be disappointed.
I have translated a strange passage from John Dar's journal. Long before he began serving Magda, he found a set of what he called key words hidden in a dusty librum. He writes that when he read these words, memories from his past returned to torment him. It was at that point that he began to mistrust the Order, though he did not say why. I am prepared to look upon these words and risk my soul. But I want you to understand something. I know I may die at any time. When I do, it must be without a single doubt that I am serving the light.
You risk more by delaying.
Thank you, my friend. But please, remember your promise.
It'll be 2 seconds before we talk to her. Alright, let's see what Miriam has to say.
My people are shunned many places, but we were always welcomed in Caldeum. Something must be very wrong, that they won't even let their own people into the city now.
But what is it? You must tell me everything.
Is that any way to speak to me? And you don't need visions to see that Belial is in control of the city. The question is how? Those you've chosen to fight alongside you are an interesting bunch. Children after my own heart, flawed in such interesting ways. Irena is quite vivacious for one with such a burden, don't you think? I know you agree with me, Cormac. You'd best keep your vows in mind, or maybe you shouldn't. And that Lyndon, he makes me laugh. He can warm my bed any night. Reminds me of my second husband, he does.
Okay then.
After all this time, my mother is alive. I couldn't be happier, and yet it's still hard to accept that she never sent word to me or Uncle Deckard. She said that she wanted to keep me safe, but I just wish I'd known. Well, at least I have her now.
I don't think I ever picked up her second journal.
Is always wandering.
It is merely the consequence of seeing that which is not readily visible. I have accepted it.
Being unusual has its strengths.
Then you have my thanks. Although, perhaps you are right. I feel as though part of me still sleeps in a faraway realm.
It could be the lingering effect of the spell.
That would be nice. But the feeling I have indicates that it is more unpleasant and complicated than that.
What happened to your brother?
Nothing you'd want to hear.
I have heard a lot. I could probably help.
And then what? I suppose you'll make it all right. You'll fix it up just like another one of your little errands. Some things aren't that easy.
I will respect your privacy.
Gods, you're so noble about it too. Spare me.
Jesus. I also... It bugs me that it doesn't, like, give their names, especially when they're talking. Like, Cormac, Lyndon, I can't remember his name, and then her name I didn't even know until Miriam said it. Nothing to talk about. I don't have anything in my inventory right now, I don't.
I heard that you were there 20 years ago when Mount Eriot was destroyed.
Baal, the Lord of Destruction, sought to enslave mankind to the power of hell by corrupting the sacred World Stone. Unthinkable though it was, I was forced to destroy it.
But there were consequences.
Understand, friend, that entire worlds burned as heaven and hell fought over the World Stone. Eriot's destruction was regrettable. And, believe me, I paid a high cost as well.
What happened when you destroyed the World Stone?
The resultant explosion dispersed the light and harmony of my angelic being. Without form or shape, I restored myself within the realm of pandemonium. It took me 20 of your years, but finally, I returned home to the high heavens.
Did your brethren understand?
Hardly. Believing my actions had endangered creation, the Angiras Council put me, the Archangel of Justice, on trial. I knew then that heaven was doomed, unless I could enlist the aid of mankind against the coming onslaught of hell.
I'm surprised Cain never told you why I left. He knew I was called to fight the Lords of Hell, and I knew he would keep you safe.
He's gone now.
Then it's fate that we have been reunited. Cain's work, your work, is my war.
According to the Herodric texts, only 2 evils remain. Belial is here in Chaldeum, and Azmodan has yet to reveal himself.
Leah still adores you, even though you left her behind.
What? No, I never saw it that way. She grew up in safety, while I risked my life to find the key to our salvation. It was the sacrifice that I had to make. In any case, Leah will meet her full potential under my guidance. Do you not have things to do?
How well did you know Cain?
For a time, during the darkening of Tristram, we spent many nights in the Tavern of the Rising Sun, discussing his Herodric texts and the varied arcana I'd collected during my travels.
Did you meet again?
Only from afar. From time to time, our paths would cross, and I would catch glimpses of Leah as she grew. It broke my heart that I could not reveal myself and raise her as my own.
I wasn't sure. I think she might be from the first game then. Her name seemed familiar, but it's been a long time since I played the first game, like well over a decade.
How did the guards capture you?
I was trying to steal out of the city. I'd returned to gather some things before setting out to recover Zoltan Kuhl's head, and the guards found me.
All right.
The guards were asking you about this Black Soul Stone. I remember reading about it in Uncle's journal, but it didn't seem important.
No, but it is. It is the key to defeating evil forever. It was created by the mage Zoltan Kuhl to trap demonic souls.
Yes, he was in Renegade Herodrim, dismembered by his brethren before he could activate the Soul Stone. His head was sealed away in the Dulgar Oasis.
We must retrieve it, because if we're to use the Soul Stone to defeat Belial and Azmodan, Zoltan Kuhl must live again.
I do not like this. We can defeat Belial without using...
That scared the shit out of me.
A new ally. The witch, Adria. She believes that the Black Soul Stone will allow us to defeat the Lords of Hell. But this remains to be seen.
The way my game just went black in the middle of Cormac talking scared the shit out of me.
Murderer, torturer, monster. These were the titles bestowed upon Zoltan Kuhl by the Herodrim. Though it cost them dearly, they killed the wizard for his crimes against nature and sealed his broken corpse within a shadow realm. It seems they were afraid he might return.
How did you rescue your wife?
I broke her out in the middle of the night and we escaped. They didn't chase us far. I guess they were glad to see her go.
You did not fear her, even given the accusations.
She wasn't a witch. She was a mystic. Though we didn't find that out for a time. Not until we started traveling with the Vetchin wagon train. But that's a story for another time.
300 years ago, I selected Kul and 6 others to form the Horadrim. He was a great man who was driven mad by his long quest to hunt evil.
He is not the first. What did he do?
He delved into powers not meant for man, trying to fashion an artifact that could fill his empty heart with the souls of angels and demons. The Horadrim had no choice but to slay him. The Order never recovered.
I don't like dealing with Cole any better than you do, but I see no other way. If Adria says we must, then we must. Uncle Deckard trusted her, and so will I.
Zoltan Kuhl, a legend. There is no doubt in my mind he is as powerful as the stories say. But for every bit of his genius, he was surely mad. He was obsessed with immortality and power.
A madman. We would do better to leave him asleep in the desert than to call on him for aid.
You have a better idea.
I do not. It is merely a warning.
This Adria, I sense dark things about her. She is not averse to using whatever means necessary to destroy Asmodan and Belial. She will use the Black Soulstone, no matter what the cost.
We have no alternative.
Some costs may prove too high, even for you. I worry about Leah. How is she?
I don't know. Why?
Oh, no reason. She just needs someone looking out for her. This Zoltan Kuhl sounds like an untrustworthy fellow. You don't have your head separated from your body for no good reason.
Corpses take many forms. We need this one for the Soulstone.
Well, if you must. But I don't trust any of those ancient sorcerer types. Always up to no good.
After what I've heard of him, I'd prefer not to become involved with this Zoltan Kuhl.
It will be dangerous, but you have faced great peril before. If Belial and Asmodan invade, you will have much more to worry about than a dismembered wizard.
Alright, it seems like we're finally done with all the, I'm gonna get rid of that before I go. Finally done with all the lore and talking. Let's head back down to, the bazaar. Have to head out to the oasis.
It's disgusting. I've seen that man going in and out of the sewers.
It's quite a maze down here, isn't it?
The evil of Mephisto, Lord of Hatred, was so pervasive that even after he had been defeated and entombed in a soulstone, his demonic essence oozed upwards into Travancore and corrupted the Zakharum priests. Though he fell to the same heroes who killed his brothers, I fear for us, should he ever return.
We've overcome many trials, and even more lie ahead. It pleases me to know we shall meet them side by side.
Listen to me. I cannot talk for long. Belial's guards are constantly watching me.
Are they?
Forgive me for my behavior at court. The gods would have killed me had I sided with you. But I will help you now as I can. You must be headed to the oasis. I can open this gate for you.
You must